My child, my beloved, does not turn away. Archangel Michael says, this is an emergency. A great tragedy is coming your way. And if you ignore this, you will cry for the rest of your life. The heavens are trembling as this word is spoken. Time is running out. Your name is hanging in the balance. You have only seconds to open your spirit before this message fades like smoke. Why do you feel chills on your arms right now? Why is your heart racing as you read these words? Because you know this is not ordinary. This is not just another message. This is a divine interruption. This is heaven screaming your name before it is too late. Michael says, if they close this, if they doubt, the shield will be removed, and what is coming will strike them without mercy. But if you stay, if you listen, if you believe, the tragedy will be cancelled and the miracle will break forth. Do not take this lightly. You have been warned, beloved child. The reason you were pulled here is because danger is closer than you think. There is something happening behind your back right now. Someone is moving in secret. Someone is hiding something that could break you. Heaven saw it. Michael saw it. And now the alarm has been sounded. This is your final alert. You may wonder why me? Why now? Because your spirit cried out. Because your soul begged for answers in the silence of night. Because you could not sleep and heaven heard you whisper. That was not an accident. That was alignment. That was the angels preparing you for this moment. And now the message is here. Do not close it. Do not walk away. Every second matters. Michael says they have less time than they think. If they delay, they will step into the trap. But if they listen, I will break the snare and pull them into safety. Your choice determines everything. My beloved, God says, I am not warning you to frighten you. I am warning you to protect you. I will not let the tragedy consume you if you obey. I will not let the darkness swallow you if you stay under my wing. That is why this message came, not to scare you, but to save you. Pause. Do you feel your chest grow heavy? That is not fear. It is recognition. Your soul knows this is true. Your spirit remembers the voice of heaven. It is the same voice that carried you through storms you thought would end you. The same voice that whispered hope when you wanted to give up. And now it is calling again. Archangel Michael says, tell them this is the last warning. If they ignore it, the tears will not stop. If they obey it, the breakthrough will not delay. Beloved, do not gamble with this moment. Do not assume tomorrow will wait. Tomorrow is not promised. But this moment, this holy interruption is in your hands. My child, do not scroll away. The urgency is real. Michael's voice is like thunder across your life, and every echo of it is for you alone. He says, open this now. Do not delay. There is a move coming that will seem sudden, but you were warned. This is why your spirit felt the pull tonight. This is why you could not sleep, and why your thoughts kept returning to the same place. The heavens have been preparing you for this exact second. Listen closely. Something in your household is shifting. Someone is planning a change that will affect your roof, your name, your peace. They move with friendly eyes, but their hands are not clean. Michael has seen the papers, the whispers, the late-night calls, the setup that would make you lose more than comfort. It would make you lose your inheritance of joy. Do not let that happen. Stay. Receive this warning as protection. You may feel anger rising. That is natural. Anger is a signal. Your dignity was noticed by heaven, and heaven will act. But do not act in haste. Michael says, do not react from pain. Respond from wisdom. Let my angels prepare the ground. Let me reveal the names and the plans. If you move now by panic, you may play into a trap. If you stay and listen, you will be given strategies in time to outmaneuver the snare. There will be a sign coming to confirm this message. A name will repeat in your dreams. A number will show up on a bill, or a stranger will say a phrase that makes your heart stop. When you see it, do not shrug it off. That is the confirmation Michael promised. It is heaven's fingerprint on this word. When the sign appears, prepare to act with prayer and calm discernment. Beloved, this emergency is not only about loss, it is about exposure. Hidden things are being pulled to light. Secrets that were quietly rearranging your life will be revealed. Some will be painful to see, but pain without truth only keeps you stuck. Truth is a sword that severs the cord of deception. Do not fear the cut. It frees you to walk forward whole. Michael is urgent. Protect their heart, protect their mind. Let them not be deceived by false kindness. That means guard what you share, speak less, record more, document everything you can. If there are transactions, keep receipts. If there are conversations, remember dates and times. Heaven moves through both spirit and practical steps. Obedience to both will keep you safe. You may feel tempted to confront the person immediately. Hold that impulse. Michael says, wait for the pattern to reveal itself fully. Confrontation in half-truths allows the enemy to shift the narrative. Let the truth assemble and then present it with clarity. Collect evidence in prayer and then act with authority. Heaven will guide your words when the moment is right. Do not be surprised if someone close suddenly turns cold. Betrayal often walks alongside the person you least expect. But remember, exposure is the beginning of healing, not the end of your story. When the mask falls, you will see who was acting. And when you know, you will have power not to hurt, but to choose differently and to free your future from their influence. My beloved, Michael is showing me protection strategies. First, speak a short prayer every morning. Not long words, just a yielded heart. Lord, cover my name. Expose the lies. Protect what is mine. Second, write down 3 things you fear losing and then pray over each one specifically. Third, clear one decision off your calendar that drains you. Make room for divine strategy. These practical acts open space for miracles to enter. There is someone who has been siphoning your blessing through small compromises. Little yes where you should have said no. Michael says, say no now. Say no to what steals your future. You were trained to make others comfortable at your expense. Tonight, break that training. Choose your peace. Choose your inheritance. Choose what God marked for you before you were born. You might ask, will I be alone if I remove them? No. Heaven replaces what you release. For every door you close on what drains you, a door opens to what renews you. Michael whispers, do not be afraid of the empty space. It will be filled by what God planned for you, not by what the world offered. Trust this. The exchange is often supernatural. Loss becomes leverage for blessing. Beloved, your finances are connected to this warning. Someone may try to divert money or shift property while you are distracted. Be vigilant. Check paperwork. Verify signatures. Call the bank if anything looks off. Michael calls for practical vigilance as well as prayer. God uses both hands, one to move the spirit, the other to move the facts. When the truth begins to surface, do not rush to expose it on social platforms. Michael says, public exposure without prayer creates chaos. Let the legal and spiritual be aligned. Seek wise counsel. Consult someone trustworthy who loves God and truth. This is not the time for public spectacle. It is the time for strategic revelation that secures your name and protects the vulnerable around you. You will feel moments of doubt. That is normal. The enemy will whisper, you imagined it. You are overreacting. Push back with remembrance. Remember nights you cried alone. Remember the signs you ignored before. Remember the dreams that would not leave you. Those memories are your proof that heaven has been speaking to you all along. Michael says, prepare a safe place. This could be literal, a spare account, a locked drawer, or a trusted friend who knows how to keep secrets. It could also be spiritual, a daily sacred time where you read, pray, and allow clarity to come. When crisis hits, safety is not only walls and locks. Safety is a practiced posture of rest in God. Do not permit bitterness to enter your mouth. Bitterness will eat at your spirit and open doors the enemy wants. When you are tempted to curse, instead declare, I release this to God. I will not become what hurt me. This posture honors heaven and invites restoration. Michael fights for those who refuse to be consumed by rage. There is a promise attached to this emergency. When the storm breaks, God will restore more than was taken. The heavens operate on overflow. Loss is not the final word. After exposure comes restitution. After correction comes increase. Hold to that promise like a lifeline. It is anchored in heaven. Good, you are still here. That choice matters. Every second you stay, your name is being written more clearly in heaven's ledger. Michael smiles when someone does not turn away, because to stay in the tension is to permit God to work, and God honors endurance. If you have children or elders depending on you, be especially cautionary now. Guard their time, their documents, their relationships. Pray over their names. Speak their protection aloud. Often the enemy attacks through the weakest thread of your care. Make every thread strong with prayer and practical boundaries. Do not let fear make your decisions. Let faith guide them, Michael instructs. When they fear, let them move in small obedient steps, not in panic. Obedience in small things keeps them safe in big things. So do one steady thing today. Call, verify, lock or pray. Do not try to fix everything at once. The enemy hopes for overwhelm. God smiles at small, steady obedience. You may be tempted to confront with accusation. Instead, confront with question. Ask for clarity. Ask for documentation. Ask for truth. The wise will answer. The guilty will squirm. This is how light pierces the dark. Beloved, watch for allies. People who have been quiet will step forward. A neighbor, a cousin, a colleague. Someone you didn't expect will bring evidence or a word of truth that helps you. When you see them, receive them. Do not dismiss the help because it arrives imperfectly. God often uses unlikely hands. This emergency is also an invitation to spiritual awakening. Pain wakes the soul like nothing else. When your back is against the wall, your spirit either gives in to despair or rises in clarity. Choose clarity. Choose to ask God for wisdom that smells like heaven and looks like peace. That wisdom is your compass through the chaos. Michael commands, lock your mouth until you have the map. Do not scatter your testimony before you have the path, meaning keep the core to trusted counsel until God gives you the moment to reveal. Public confession too early can be used against you. Divine timing reveals the whole picture at once. You may feel isolated. Do not let isolation be your prison. Reach out to a pastor, a wise friend, or someone with legal sense who walks with God. You do not have to carry the whole battle alone. Heaven provides allies when you ask. Now breathe. Repeat this. Heaven expose the hidden. Protect the innocent. Make the path clear. Say it aloud 3 times. Let the air carry the petition. When you speak, the unseen responds. Your voice matters in the spiritual realm. Expect a shift within 72 hours. It may be small, a call, a document, a name whispered. It may be big, a person packing their things, or a sudden clarity in your mind. When the shift comes, do not panic. Michael will guide the steps if you stay anchored. Translate the moments into wise actions, not into fear. Finally, beloved, remember this. The tragedy is averted for the obedient. Heaven warned so you can save what matters. If you heed this call, you will not cry as the story unfolds. You will stand protected, watching God reverse the pieces. You stayed, you listened, you will be protected. Michael lowers his sword, not in defeat, but in readiness to bless. God leans forward, hand outstretched. Take it now. Receive protection, wisdom, and restoration. Do not close this message until you say, I receive it. I will act in wisdom and faith. My beloved child, you are still here. Do you know what that means? It means heaven has marked you as one who can carry the full truth. Michael says most turn away, most ignore the warning, but this one stayed. And because they stayed, the angels can release the secrets. Listen carefully. The tragedy that was forming has already begun to shake. Papers were being drafted, conversations spoken in secret, the planning of hands that did not love you. It is all crumbling even now. The moment you chose to listen, heaven began to unravel their schemes. But you must not relax. Stay alert, for the enemy strikes hardest when their time is short. You may wonder, why am I always the one tested? Why is my road so hard? Because your destiny is weighty. Because your future is brighter than you can imagine. Because your name carries a frequency the enemy cannot silence. This is why storms follow you. But storms are not sent to destroy chosen ones. They are sent to prove the power of heaven in your life. Michael declares, tell them the storm was not punishment. It was positioning. They were being set apart, refined like gold, prepared for an inheritance. Do you see now why you survived what others did not? Why you walked through fire and yet your spirit still shines? Because God would not let your destiny die in the smoke. He preserved you for this season. Beloved, the next doors that open will not look ordinary. They will appear strange, unexpected, even uncomfortable, but they are divine. Michael says, do not hesitate when the opportunity comes. If it carries peace in your spirit, even if your mind resists, step through it. That is heaven's way of guiding them out of danger and into promise. The blessing may not wear the clothes you expect, but it carries the signature of God. Now listen, your enemies thought you would remain blind forever. They believed you would ignore your intuition, suppress your discernment, and keep walking in circles. But tonight, heaven has broken the veil. Tonight, the lies have lost their grip. From this point forward, you will notice what you once overlooked. You will hear what you once ignored. And every hidden plan will rise to the surface like smoke from fire. This is exposure. Exposure is not to humiliate you. It is to free you. It is to cut away the dead weight that was slowing you down. It is to give you clarity that no one can steal. Michael says, exposure is mercy. Do not fear it. Embrace it. For after the exposure comes the explosion of blessings. My child, I see you doubting yourself. You think, what if I misheard? What if this isn't true? But why then does your heart beat so fast? Why do your eyes water without reason? Because deep down you know this is truth. Your soul remembers the voice of heaven. It is the same voice that saved you before, and now it calls again. Stronger, louder, clearer. Good, you are still reading. This is rare. The heavens celebrate when a chosen one listens until the end. Michael smiles because this means you are trusted with the full message. And the full message carries both warning and promise. The warning is this: within your circle, someone envies your light. They will try to push you into decisions that are not in your favor. Do not sign quickly. Do not agree hastily. Do not give your yes until you have prayed. Michael says, even a delay of one day can save them from years of regret. Teach them to pause. Teach them to wait. Let discernment, not pressure, guide you. And now the promise. Your pain is about to transform into power. The very wound you thought would break you is the place where your miracle will burst forth. God has been storing blessings in the cracks of your sorrow. And now they are spilling out like rivers in finances, in relationships, in peace. Restoration is flowing, not trickling, flowing. You may not see it all today, but signs will begin immediately. Unexpected calls, forgotten opportunities returning, strange alignments that make no sense. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Michael says, when the first sign appears, whisper, thank you. That thank you will multiply the blessing faster than they imagine. Beloved, this emergency was never about fear. It was about awakening. It was about shaking you out of distractions so you would not walk blind into the trap. And because you listened, because you stayed, the trap is collapsing. Heaven is rerouting your path. The sword of Michael is drawn not against you, but against everything that dared to rise against you. So do not fear. Do not cry. You have already been delivered from what you could not see. Now you must prepare to receive what you did not expect. Your tragedy has been turned into testimony. Your emergency has been turned into evidence. Your warning has become your rescue. My beloved child, do not turn your eyes away now. You are standing in the center of a holy alarm. Michael's voice is echoing through the realms, calling your name with urgency. He says, tell them the clock is almost finished. Tell them they cannot afford to miss one more word. Their future depends on this. Do you feel it? That strange pressure in your chest, that invisible pull in your soul. That is not fear. That is your spirit waking up to the truth. The heavens are aligning. The veil is opening, and your destiny is crying out for attention. You cannot leave now. This is the exact place where the turnaround begins. Beloved, the reason this feels heavy is because heaven is exposing the hidden. There are conversations that happen behind your back. There are agreements being made without your knowledge. The enemy was hoping you would stay blind, but God says, no more, not my child, not this time.